Good evening. Welcome to the 28th August special meeting from the Crestview City Council. At this time, I ask that you turn off any electronic devices. And if you care to address us, we have some yellow cards out the very front outside that you can fill out the card and give it to our acting city clerk. Filling in for our city clerk this evening. And at this time, I ask you to stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Bill Cox.
Join me, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I'd ask all the city councilmen to please sign in. All right, we're not going to sign in this evening. We're going to make note that all the city councilmen are present. And we also have with us the city mayor and our finance officer filling in for the city clerk and our department heads. Thank you all for coming. In the back of the room, we have our press back there with CCTV and Ken Nilsson. Could I have action by the council for tonight's agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda as printed.
I have a motion to approve the agenda. Do I get a second?
So second.
A motion second. Any discussion? Please vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the agenda looks good then. At this time, if anybody in the audience would like to speak to us on any issue on the agenda, this would be the time to do that. Anybody in the audience like to address anything that's on tonight's agenda? Okay, then we're going to move on, and I'm going to call on Gina to read the ordinance 1627, if you would, please.
An ordinance of the City of Crestview, further amending ordinance number 1440, restating the City of Crestview Police Officers and Firefighters Retirement Plan, as subsequently amended. Amending Section 30, Supplemental Benefit Component for Special Benefits, Chapter 185 and 175, Share Accounts, providing for severability of provisions, providing for codification, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Okay, we've all seen this before. The city clerk asked us before if we had any questions. We didn't at that time, so if I could get action on this item, I'd appreciate it.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Blocker.
I move to adopt ordinance 1627 on the first reading and move to second reading.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
The motion is second, any discussion? Okay, the motion is to adopt ordinance 1627 on first reading and move to second reading. Please vote at this time. We still don't have those, my bad. Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Vote carries 5-0. Next item on agenda, acceptance of concessionaire bid by Public Services. Mr. Steele, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This item before you for consideration is basically what it is, what it states. The city went out for bids for concessionaire services a few months ago. When the bids came in and were opened, it was a tie bid between the two responsive bidders, so Mr. Hawley instructed us to rebid. We re-advertised and rebid the item, and whenever the bids were open this time, we had a bidder, a winning bidder, Miss Gia, however you say her last name, DeMario, and that percentage it's actually based off a percentage of gross revenue per month, and her bid was of 26.5% of gross revenue per month, and $650 annual exclusive privilege of maintaining concession services at the city Crestview recreation facilities. And that's what we're just asking for consideration be given approval of the contract.
Any comments or questions? So that's the only difference, half percentage point difference in the gross receipts back to the city, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Steele. $650 annual payment, it seems like that's a small number. Has that gone up over the years? Have we just had this forever? Or?
Well, that's what we had for the last 3 years. We didn't have anything before that,
Okay.
and so we just had that for the last 3 years, and it's been fair.
Do you find it reasonable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. All right, could I have action by the council then, please?
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Cox.
I move to approve the concessionaire bid as submitted.
Second?
A motion second to approve the concessionaire bid as submitted. Any discussion? Please vote. If you're in the favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Steele. And now you're going to talk to us about the approval of easement agreement with Okaloosa County, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Thank you. This item before you for consideration is actually a three-party agreement. And what I would like to do is explain to you where this is at. If you go to the end of Redstone East, where by the new school, where it dead ends into Okaloosa Lane. The only paved portion is, as you know, is a little segment there that the city done back whenever the school was built, and of course the paving of Redstone down past the school. Whenever D.R. Horton purchased all of the property across to the south of the new school and started building new homes out there, the first phase didn't require it, but the second and third phase is required for them to actually improve the portion of Okaloosa Lane that was that the county used for access to their water well, which is down by the interstate. That segment was listed as an easement in their property, in their deed. It was listed as an easement. So whenever they submitted their plans to us and started wanting to develop their second and third phase, I told them I couldn't accept that. In other words, I didn't want to allow them to just pave that and leave it as an easement and be a new improved road as an easement to the city. I said it's got to be a dedicated right-of-way to the city by plat, like all of our other right-of-ways. And so in that process, what you have before you is actually just them doing that. They're going to do it in three separate sections. The first section will be done, and when they do it, they're having to abandon the easement that the county has. It has their water line and their sewer line in it. They're abandoning the existing easement, making it a city-dedicated right-of-way. Then we can accept it, and then they're giving the county an easement on portion of their property. And do you understand that? And then whenever they do the next section, they'll do the same thing, and then the last section they'll finish up with it, and it takes it all the way back to the interstate, and all of that will be city right of way. It'll be a new street, and it'll be a curb and gutter and regular width, and it gives us a 60-foot right of way, just like we would normally have. And that's the county just wanted to maintain and keep an easement. They didn't want to just have their utility in the city right-of-way. They wanted to keep an easement, so we didn't object to that. They had it to begin with. So, any questions?
Comments, questions?
Mr. President.
Yeah, Mr. Blanco, go ahead.
What's the width of that easement they asked for?
The easement that they'll retain will be 10 foot, perpetual, and during construction it's 20 foot.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Action by the council, please.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Hayes.
I move to approve the easement agreement with Okaloosa County as presented.
I have a motion, do I get a second?
A second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the easement agreement with Okaloosa County as presented, and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Vote carries 5-0.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
President.
Mr.
And Mr. Holly has the legal documents, the whole packet with everything. In the event that you didn't have it all, Ms. Roy didn't include it all in the package when she sent it out. She missed part of it, but we have the entire document, and Mr. Hawley has approved it. Right, clerk's office is going to have it.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. This time, a call for any comments from the audience. Any comments from the audience? All right, I'm going to give opportunity, starting with Mr. Mayor, if you'd like, anything you'd like to share with us?
Nothing today, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Fairclough?
Nothing.
Okay, Mr. Hayes?
No.
Mr. Blocker?
No.
Mr. Cox? Mr. Steele, you got anything else you'd like to share with us? Chief?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Marie?
Yes, sir, thank you.
Chief?
Yes, sir, I'm good.
Teresa? Wow. Mr. Hawley? You got anything you'd like to share with us? No? Okay. Gina?
No, sir.
Nobody wants to talk this evening. May, you have something you want to share with us? Well, can you, I know it's difficult, could you come up
I
here?
didn't want to say anything, I was listening to
Okay,
talking, and y'all know I have to catch up on the different areas in here. Where is you talking about for the easement that is supposed to be coming through?
It's in front of the new school, out on East Redstone at the very end.
Oh, on east, okay, on Redstone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, the easement is supposed to be coming which way?
The easement, it's actually just a new street. It's go, at the end of Redstone, it'll go, take a right, and it'll go all the way to the interstate.
Okay, I think I got you, I think I done traveled that way. Okay, that's what I was trying to keep up with what he was saying.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Manny, no problem. Okay, any other comments? Adjourn the meeting. Thank you.